Exhibit B, E continued. I have Exhibit B continued last video, and then I have Exhibit B1.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, if we have time, I would like to play the last two in Exhibit B. However, if we do not have time, I will settle for the third clip in Exhibit B.
Exhibit B. Yeah, we're into the clip. Let's get to the clip.
When criticized, they may cover their distress with a facade of icy indifference, pretending that they do not care. As sensitive as they are about their own feelings and behaviors, they have little apparent understanding of the feelings and needs of others, and may find empathy. They will pretend to care, but not care at all. Patients with MPD often fantasize about success and are very envious of those who have actually achieved it. They may choose friends they think can help them get what they want. Their job performances suffers, causing them to have various jobs throughout their lifetime.
So, listening to this and looking at the comments, I see people saying that this was for Corey. Do you have that information that this is for Corey? Because I don't think it's fair to put this on Tanzee if we're already fighting through her feeling as though someone diagnosed her. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as being the judge, that this will be asked to be dismissed from this case if it did not have to do exactly with Tanzee. We don't want to add insult to it.
And like I said,
Keith just said that she read it in general and it was not for a specific person.
It was not for a specific person.
It's to show that towards the end, she said out loud, "You are narcissistic," which shows a pattern that she diagnoses non-patients on lives.
But she wasn't diagnosing Tanzee.
That's not the question, Keith. The question was, did she read it for a specific person? And you said no.
She didn't.
Okay, but Keith is not on trial. Let's remember.
Your Honor, if I may.
We can take that into consideration when using him as a witness, but Keith is not on trial. Here's the points. Good eye, good commentary. Great point. As a matter of fact, if this was court, great point. She's clearing that up. But we must say that this was not particularly for Tanzee, but it did come from Dr. Dutchess. So at this time, we will leave that as far as evidence. I don't think I can take it out. Let me hear from the jurors on this. This is one where I have to hear from the jurors.
Your Honor, may I make a statement before the jurors?
At this time, attorney, I cannot allow your statement right now because I'm in hell, knee deep with high water around my ankles. Let me try to see. I got to hear from the jurors right now. This is where they come in. Poetic, are we keeping this for evidence or are we throwing it out?
I say throw it out.
And why is that?
They can't actually define who she was reading it for. If they're not able to tell us who it was actually directed to, then why keep it? It could have been just in general. It could have been to inform a platform, just like I do on Saturdays, just extending knowledge to everyone. So unless she can actually say, I say Tanzee is this, I don't think that you can actually use it because we don't know who it was for. It could have been multiple people on the platform she could have used that for.
Now, coming cousin jurors, y'all know that y'all make the final say. Think about it. Listen to the jurors, and I will be putting a poll up for you guys. Will we be keeping this in evidence, Queenie? I need to hear from you.
No, we do not need to keep it in evidence. Piggybacking off of Poetic, nobody's name was mentioned at all.
Gotcha. Jasmine, will we be keeping this as far as evidence?
No, ma'am, because unless she called a name, it's irrelevant.
Okay. Bright-eyed Regal, are we keeping this as evidence?
Yes, I believe we should keep it as evidence. It shows a pattern, a history of diagnosing others, whether it be Tanzee, Corey, or whoever else. I think that is relevant.
Okay. And Mr. Inedible, are we keeping it?
Your Honor, to be honest, I don't think we should keep it as evidence. The clip doesn't even says that she's directing it towards anyone. I think she's just reading the definition for clarity. So I don't think we should keep it.
Okay, with that being said, I will put up a poll. If you want to participate in this ruling, we need you. Are we keeping this for evidence? Red is yes, blue is no. It is now up to the common cousin jurors. Will we be keeping this as evidence? Yes or no? Yes is red, blue is no. Yes is red, blue is no. Yes is red, blue is no. It will be up to the final judgment of the common cousin jurors. Red is yes, blue is no. Will this be presented in this case today as evidence? My God, in here today, the people are participating. Finally, we get some participation on the poll. Let's go 500 votes, at least with 1,500 people in here. Come in the room and vote. If you don't do nothing else, come in and vote. We need your votes, people.
Your Honor, I just like to say, the courts are aware that she is a licensed therapist.
Excuse me, Ms. Top, 2 seconds. We got to get this vote in. I know, sister. Woo, God. With that being said, 315 people over 203 documented tip. This evidence will be used for this case.
Yes, yes.
Can we please? Sorry, Tanzee.
No
Can you move up?
outburst, Tanzee. No outburst. It does not give a guilty verdict. We're only able to keep this as evidence here in the joint. It has been said, and we will keep it, but it does not give a verdict. Let me hear from you, Miss Attorney Top Shelf. Now, this is what you call court. Go ahead, baby. My God.
I just want to reinstate and make you all aware that my client is a licensed therapist and that she is trained to recognize and diagnose. She is formally trained to recognize and diagnose mental or health conditions, issues, if you will. Did my client ever issue a written diagnosis?
Let it be aware that Tanzee did just pay her Galaxy for that outburst. She has no dues owed to this court as of today, right now.
Also, that Tanzee on Black Diamonds Live requested the services of my client at one point. Did we know that?
My God. Will that be able to be proven here? Let's get into the questioning. Will we need Keith anymore for this case? Keith, you did an amazing job. I hope to have you back one day for a jury.
Wait, before I leave, Miss Nietzsche, I love your platform. So I'm Mafia all day, but I rock with you all day. I swear to God, this is the best court show ever. I mean, you are hilarious. Like, you belong on TV. You are hilarious. But keep going. I love you so much.
Keith, I'd like you not to go too far if you are able to stand around or be available when the other attorney, our co-attorney, comes up for more questioning. Appreciate your participation. Thank you.
Ms. Nietzsche, can we please play the full clip? That was only seconds of the clip. I think it's important, if we're going to keep the clip in evidence, that the jurors and the audience be able to hear the pattern that Dr. Dutchess has created on these lives.
Can I speak, Judge, before we go any further?
Yes, but we do need to get y'all. We are an hour and 34 minutes into this case. We have not heard from one witness other than Tanzee screaming out. Okay, we do need to get to the witnesses. Let me hear from you, Proud. And it's time to question these witnesses on these allegations. Would you say so, jurors?
I was just about to say, Judge.
We know we got good attorneys up here, but we want to hear from the witnesses.
We haven't been, the jurors, I'm going to speak for my cousins up here. We have not been able to ask not one question to either witness or Tanzee and Dr. Dutchess.
Yes. And they want greatness is here with that evidence that has not been fully fulfilled. So we got a lot to do in here. Proud, let us hear from you. We got to bring greatness up. And then we do have some licensed therapists in the room today that we do might have some questions for. So I got to get into this case knee deep. As much as I don't want to, I got to. Proud, let us hear from you. And then we got to get greatness back up here with the remainder of that clip.
Okay, I want to be sure that we all understand that we're not putting Dr. Dutchess' professionalism as far as her job on the line. She was not hired by Tanzee. She only gave an opinion. She did not give a diagnosis and then a prescription. She's giving an opinion of someone who's been in the field over 40 years. So we don't want to get that mixed up.
Yes.
I have proof that she's not giving an opinion, that she's stating facts that individuals have certain diagnoses.
She has the professional, she has the credentials to identify those things, right? But she has not gotten
I want it to
consent.
be an open discussion. Let's let the jurors. I'm with Proud. Let's make sure we do protect Dr. Dutchess' career. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Absolutely.
We do want to make sure that we know that this is entertainment. But there are some people, I see the comments saying she cannot diagnose on TikTok, even though she is a licensed therapist or psychologist, that there are still some standards is what I just read.
None of her deductions were directed toward Tanzee. We must keep that in mind.
I would like to note that
she can give thoughts and all that if the people ask for it. And I am going to ask, can we gather the clip where Tanzee has asked for Dr. Dutchess' opinion?
Please do.
I do see a therapist down here. Hold on. The therapist is here. Let's bring up, she can misrepresent diagnoses on TikTok. She can't misrepresent diagnoses on TikTok. Okay.
I would like to highlight that we do not have proof that Dr. Dutchess is a licensed therapist.
We might not ever get the proof. Like, that's her personal. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all asking for proof today?
No, I'm not asking for proof. I just want to state that to everyone that Dr. Dutchess had no reason to ever tell anyone that she's a licensed clinical psychologist. However, she does.
I object, Your Honor. I object, Your Honor.
I do too. I object because there's a difference between giving a diagnosis and an opinion.
Okay, so let me see. I see Black Diamond at the door. They did say we had Diamond refreshments in the lobby. She might be here dropping off refreshments and has something to say. We're going to interject right now with a pause break for 500 taps. See what Diamond has to say from the Mafia. And shit is getting gritty in here. And then the greatness is coming. The greatness has to come. Thank y'all for the gifts and love. Proud, I'm rotating. I like what Proud said. Thank you, Proud. Woo, girl, this is deep. Bop the screen to 500K. I don't know what happened to the attorney, but we got to get you back. Hey, Black Diamond, let me get you sworn in, Diamond. This is a case going on. Could you raise your right hand, Diamond?
Okay, I raise it.
Okay. Do you solemnly and solemnly swear that everything that you say out your mouth today that will help or hurt this case, that is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you, bro, them?
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
So, Dr. Dutchess did not diagnose Tanzee. She was reading the definition of the MS. I don't know if y'all can hear me, y'all, because I'm in a place of business. But she was reading the place of the definition on the panel to Dav when we were talking. But she didn't diagnose Tanzee.
Thank you. So we have Tip. Would you please document that Diamond just clarified that she was reading a definition and she said to Dab, D-A-B.
Your Honor, my client would like to return to the court. My client would like to.
Okay. Thank you, Diamond. We have noted that in the court's document. We will now hear from the greatness in the clip. Thank you, Diamond.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So this right here is from the
We ready
same
for you.
live, right? Yeah, I need everybody to mute up.
Okay, I'm here.
All right. So this right here is from the same live, later on in that same live.
How you operate. You operate different from other people. But this is the thing is, I don't have to engage because people pay to bring me up, right? I don't have to use my money. The only time I use my money is if I'm having a debate with someone and I want to show off. I'm a narcissist.
I mean, I'm not knocking you for how. Did y'all hear that? Okay. So basically, right there, she confirmed that she was a narcissist. All right. So I felt like that was a key. I felt like that was a key point.
My God. Okay, is that all of the clip, Mr. Greatness? Thank you, and I do hope you accept my apology on joking earlier.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
You know that you're a God. Like God said, let us make humans in our image. In our image. So therefore, I am the image of the creator of all life.
And I agree with you, but you
just said you don't like it. You know why? You don't like it. I know why you don't like it. You're limited. You're limited. I can make every single race on the planet.
Tanzee, God like.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second.
I am God.
We already heard this part. Is there more?
Except raw hair.
Mr. Greatness?
Raw hair. Yeah, it went on. It went on for a good minute. What you gotta say? Hold up.
I mean,
yes, there is more.
Who you want to be?
This is good to me, y'all. Yellow hearts if it's good to you.
And if you'd like to switch me out for my co-defense attorney, that's acceptable as well. If there's no room for both of us, that's fine.
No, you're doing good up here.
Oh.
Yeah, the people like you. Mr. Greatness, the clip has stopped.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna tell you though, right? I think really it's like my Wi-Fi kind of messing up a little bit, but I had those couple key points that I wanted to, key in on. Like, it is definitely more though, but it ain't. My Wi-Fi ain't responding right.
Yes. Okay. Well, if we're going to rotate you, Mr. Greatness, don't leave. I'm sure that Dr. Dutchess is going to want you back if it's more. And I'm going to bring up the attorneys now so we can get into the questions for Dr. Dutchess and Tanzee. I do think that it's time to proceed with the attorneys. And Top, your questions will leave first. Mr. Greatness, I'm going to disconnect. We did need to hear that evidence. We do also want to bring to the court's attention that narcissists and bipolar are two different diagnoses. That's just for medical. So I do want us to be aware, if you are not, that those are two different diagnoses. So we have to make sure we know that. Will that be noted, Tip, in the courtroom juke joint? Somebody said this is ridiculous. This might not be the courtroom for you, but this is where we are. Top, it is on you, because I'm sure these juror has plenty of questions. Let's go.
Okay. We all recognize, whether it be TikTok or
We do have a therapist.
some other form or platform, that licensed therapists are trained not to give diagnosis, but are trained to recognize mental health conditions. Is that true? Are they trained for that? I'll wait.
To the person that said, well, when we finished the clip, he just said his service is not.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. So, yeah, I need to say, Tom,
not to you.
It sounded like you were doing a statement, but are you asking questions now to Dr. Dutchess?
Oh, to Dr. Dutchess herself.
Yeah, you're not, because I was asking
Tanzee, but okay.
Oh, so are you going to start with Tanzee? Because I need to call. The state had called Dr. Dutchess.
Okay.
I didn't know she was talking to me. She didn't say my
Yeah.
name.
So at this time, let it be known that the state is calling Dr. Dutchess to the platform unless the defendant, you're wanting to start with Tanzee.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to start with Tanzee?
Yes, Your
At
Honor.
this time, okay. At this time, Tip, if you will note in the book of scholars, okay, that we are starting with questioning with Tanzee. It has been noted, Tanzee, you have been sworn in. It's on you, Miss Attorney Top Chef.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tanzee, if I may ask you a question, and it has not anything directly to do with my client. I just want some clarity on what your knowledge is of a licensed therapist. You would agree that licensed therapists are trained to recognize and diagnose mental health conditions, correct?
Not in a non-professional setting.
Now, professional setting or not, the question is, do you recognize that they are therapists trained to recognize and diagnose mental health conditions, regardless of the setting?
As a licensed therapist, we are not able to do so. And
No, not giving the advice, but them recognizing and giving advice are completely different issues. So, would you agree?
I object. What is the difference between recognizing and diagnosing?
Verbalization. So, would you agree that
What is verbalization for the court? Please define.
verbalization of their recognize? I'm just asking, are they able to recognize, not speak on, but identify mental health conditions? A licensed therapist. That's the question. That's the only question.
At this time, I think that is, at this time, I would like to call a licensed therapist.
Exactly.
To the platform. The state is calling for the therapist, who is a licensed therapist, from watching her on this app 3 years.
Exactly.
Because that is going to be a question wholeheartedly for a therapist. So at this time, if it makes sense to you all, I would love to call up a therapist on the panel and we get those questions answered by a therapist. Miss Queenie, get back in line. I'm going to drop you and disconnect and bring up a licensed therapist. At this time, the therapist is coming. Let's get her sworn in, because I'm not a therapist and I would like to hear this professionally. The therapist, could you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you solemnly and solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and everything that you say will have to do with this court, so help you God now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, proceed, Top, with your questions. And then we'll cross-examine from the hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. The therapist, I welcome your presence here today. My question is, whether it be formally, informally, platform, no platform, are licensed therapists trained to recognize mental health conditions? You're on mute.
Sorry, my dog was barking. Yes, but only under the guides of diagnostic assessment.
So does that prohibit their recognizing the condition?
It doesn't prohibit recognizing, but proper practice.
They can recognize the condition because they're trained to.
Not 100% without diagnostic
Your training goes
assessment.
out the door. Does that mean you're no longer trained because you can recognize something? Or are you trained to recognize mental conditions is the question. And it doesn't have to pertain to the plaintiff whatsoever or the platform. The question is, are therapists, licensed therapists, trained to recognize mental health conditions? Is that part of the curriculum? Not only under, are you trained in the scholastic sense? Were you trained to recognize mental health conditions?
Part of that recognition is assessment.
Okay, but you have to recognize it in order to assess it, correct?
You have to assess it in order to recognize it.
Well, I think you probably would say, I wonder if that is, now let me assess it. That's just my opinion. I'm not a licensed.
Assessment is part of the recognition. You can't have full recognition without assessment.
So how are you able to determine what the condition is if you haven't been trained in that manner?
The part of the training is the assessment. You cannot diagnose without the guides of an assessment.
Okay, so that said, an assessment has been done in their own opinion without verbalizing it. Now, are they able to recognize that?
We can't assess an opinion.
So
all of what we do is objective.
White noise here then, because either you're trained to assess and recognize a condition or you're not. It's a simple answer, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think it's really a simple answer, because what I hear her saying is yes, but it has to be in a separate setting. It has, like, that's what I'm hearing. I hear she answered, but it doesn't sound like she gave the answer that you wanted.
Okay, but so is assessment, one last question. Is assessment and what's the difference between observation and assessment?
They're one and the same.
Okay, so if someone is observing one's behavior, that is an assessment, correct?
That's part of it.
Oh, okay,
there's two. You can't have one without the other. In an objective professional setting.
No, don't rest. Let her finish answering. Don't rest. Don't rest, Top. Let her finish, because she's answering, but there's a clause behind it. So we got to hear what comes behind it. She's saying yes, but as her being a licensed therapist, there is more that she's trying to give us that comes with that. So she's like trying to give you the fine print at the bottom of the program. So I would like to hear her give that fine print at the bottom of that program. The therapist, would you continue? And then we'll ask what her qualifications are, Dr. Dutchess. I see that question. Go ahead, the therapist.
We have to recognize that the recognition of a diagnosis is two parts. We may have an opinion, but in order for our opinion to be a fact and to be noteworthy is when we engage in assessment with our client. So I could say I think my client has depression, but if I have not fully assessed them for that, I can't say that definitively, even to my own client.
But you did qualify that assessment and observation are one and the same. So
I observe something and then I assess it, but I don't put it out as fact until both happen, observation and assessment.
I don't think any facts were put out, but that's just my opinion. So I rest, Your Honor.
Thank you. That therapist, could you please give us your credentials if it's okay with you?
I'm an LPCS.
License. Thank you.
Yes.
With that being said, the plaintiff, the defendant has rested. Will there be any questions from attorney, the human? Do you have any questions for the therapist or any questions from the jurors after you?
Absolutely. I do have a question. That therapist, were you here for the first few clips when Dr. Dutchess said both you're having a bipolar rant, and secondly, we all know that Tanzee is bipolar?
Objection, Your Honor.
Someone is, I have a,
that therapist,
she can answer that question. Overruled. Answer that question.
Thank you. Were you here to hear those clips?
Yes, I was.
Okay. In your professional opinion, is that something that a professional psychologist should say or would say on a live to someone?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Please answer.
If we are not presenting diagnostic criteria solely for the purpose of education and not to add to a narrative or opinion that we have about a particular person who doesn't happen to be our client, then that's all that we're allowed to do under our ethical guidelines.
Thank you. And Dr. Dutchess has had many instances where she's offered pro bono services on this app. to individuals who call in on lives and ask her questions. They go into her DMs. Top Shelf mentioned that Tanzee asked Dr. Dutchess for therapy.
Several times.
If on a pro bono basis, when does Tanzee become Dr. Dutchess's client? And if she became her client, does her saying that Tanzee is bipolar, is that violating client privilege?
Your Honor, I'd like to interject since she brought it up.
Hold on.
Tanzee had requested Dr. Dutchess to be her therapist and was denied on several occasions.
Stop. Sorry. We're on the plaintiff right now. Could you please rephrase that question? Absolutely. And then I do want to know if it is possible that I can ask that therapist and Dr. Dutchess, are their credentials similar or the same? Hold that thought. The human, please rephrase that question. Absolutely. This is good to me. 500K, please, y'all. It's getting too good. Y'all don't stop.
If a licensed clinical psychologist, which Dr. Dutchess has stated she is, offers pro bono services on social media, and Tanzee, as Top Shelf has stated as fact, has gone to Dr. Dutchess and asked for therapy, when does whatever she has shared or whatever observation or assessment that Dr. Dutchess has done, when does that become privileged information?
Typically, after an informed consent is signed by the client, then that is when the relationship becomes active.
Okay, so even though it's pro bono and there is a trend of her offering these services online, on lives, it does not start until Tanzee signs a document.
I object, Your Honor. Irrelevant.
That's kind of getting sticky.
Irrelevant information. Irrelevant. It does not pertain to the client whatsoever.
It's relevant.
No relevance whatsoever. She never consented to her.
Consent has to be made. We know consent has to be made.
Okay,
so that's overruled. That's overruled. Consent has to be made because it'll lead to speculation. So I do want to ask one more question, and I have to ask the question. Javon wrote it for me. I didn't know how to put it into words. But I do want to know about the education of the ladies, because this is good and she's a licensed therapist. But is there a difference? And I know it is, but I don't know. Because yesterday they was like, it's a difference in a therapist and a psychologist. It is. So the scope of a LPSC and a licensed psychologist, that therapist, are you a licensed psychologist or therapist, which is still needed?
I'm a licensed professional counselor supervisor. So under the scope of my practice, I can conduct individual, family, and couples therapy. I can diagnose. And so that's pretty much what I can do. A clinical psychologist would be able to administer different test batteries that I wouldn't be able to administer.
So I was just going to ask you that, with your degree in honesty, would you state and say, or would you say that Dr. Dutchess' degree is a little more enhanced? I don't want to say you didn't go to school and do your bed work, because you did, but is her degree a little more enhanced than your degree?
Absolutely. I will never take away from a doctorate licensure. No, that's a great accomplishment.
Thank you for your allow me to ask you that and then not offend you. Thank you for participating in today, because you are needed. So I would like to say that is documented in the court today. This is entertainment purposes, but we did just touch on something real. If there's no more questions from you, the human, because I do want to protect these ladies' careers. Like, this is entertainment for us, but when we turn these buttons off, they have a career. And I'm not into digging and trying to drag nobody through their career. So I'm trying to be very careful with today's entertainment and not darnish or put a damper on somebody's livelihood. So that's why I cut the question off, the human, because this is entertainment for us, but to them, this is their real livelihood. And I don't want to do that to anybody that's up here. So if there's no more further questions from you, the human, I would like to proceed to the jurors, and then we get into the questions of Dr. Dutchess and Tanzee, if that's okay.
And you can bring up.
So there are no more questions for that therapist. However, I would like that, this is for entertainment purposes, but I would like that same protection to be applied to Tanzee's mental health. And so
Yes,
Top Shelf needs to also be wary of how she is forming her questions, because that can also trigger Tanzee.
You cannot tell me how to form my question.
Excuse me. This is my juke joint. Stay in your attorney's order, and I will make sure to protect and to serve as much as I can up here today to make sure everyone's mental in the room is okay. With that being said, if this live is too much for you and you are being triggered, we ask that you exit the live. I'm sure there's someone right now pulling somebody edges out through the screen and they'll never touch them. But if this is too much for you today, we do not want you to sit in this room. We do have licensed therapists here. If you want to inbox them to see how far their special treatment can go with you, do that. But we ask that you tap the screen before Otis gets pissed off in here. 1,400 people, we're doing good. And this is for entertainment purposes with a couple of good real things involved. Jurors, do y'all have any questions for that therapist?
I do. First, I do have to say, because I do hold a medical license, that this is for entertainment purposes only, so nothing has been said reflects my individual thoughts or opinions around any clinical or medical diagnosis. Is just for entertainment purposes only. I do have to say that because I do hold a medical license. That therapist, do you have to do a one-on-one assessment to properly diagnose a client?
Yes.
Good information.
I have a question.
We go in order. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Just a second. Sorry. Jasmine, do you have a question for that therapist?
Yes, yes, ma'am. So since y'all are in different positions, and no disrespect to either one of y'all, wouldn't y'all follow like different guidelines and different orders? Since she's a doctor and you're a licensed, I forgot what you said you were, but when y'all follow like separate guidelines of what y'all would consider assisting and diagnosing someone?
So we do have different licensure ethical standards that we follow individually, but the guides around social media are pretty universal, just like the guides against, having schmecks with clients. Those are kind of universal things. There may be a few little differences in there, but our conduct with clients and representation of our license is pretty similar.
APA Code of Ethics is what I see downstairs. APA Code of. This is good to me, y'all. It helps me because I took a mental health course and I know I ain't licensed, but I know it's a way big difference than what I done. So this is very beneficial to us that host lives to hear this. So if you're in the room, pay attention. If you're a live host, because this is very beneficial for us moving forward in 2026. Thank you, Jasmine. Great question. Bright Eyed Regal, it's on you, and then it'll be on you, Mr. Inedible. I know I'm saying that wrong, but go ahead. Bright, it's on you.
May I ask, Judge, I don't have a question for that therapist, if that's what that is.
Okay. What about you, sir? You have a question for that therapist?
Yes. So, respects to the therapist and all the medical licensed people in the room. Please help me if I do say anything wrong. I don't want to mess up nobody's money. That therapist, if you were on a live broadcast and you just read the clinical definition of an MPD, is that diagnosing somebody?
It depends on the context of the conversation.
If you just
If I
read,
was
if you just read it, just read the clinical definition.
just read it without any implication towards anyone
Right.
in the room,
Just read it for clarity. Yeah.
no.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. With that being said, the moment that we all been waiting on. Thank you, that therapist. I'm going to bring my other juror back. I really appreciate you. And we're going to rotate. Does anybody remember who it was? Come on
It
back
was
up, Queen, if you're
Queenie. It was
here.
Queenie.
Queen, yes, come back, Queen. And let's get into the questions. I'm here for it. Now, I do see some witnesses downstairs, but we do not like to bring up witnesses during the court cases because it can kind of put a damper on the audience jurors, and we try to keep it as professional as we can with the entertainment. So we will hear from witnesses a little bit later, but if that's okay. Proud, you're back up. What's going on, sis? This is our...
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say I totally object to that therapist's testimony. She is not on the same level, no disrespect, with Dr. Dutchess. So I think we should have gotten someone that would have had the same doctrine that could have given us precise feedback.
Overruled. I do think that as far as I do know Dr. Dutchess was asking for her degree. I think that when it comes to the code of that, since they're on the same level, let's get to the questions, because I just think that I disagree with that. I do disagree with that, but you have a right to your opinion. I think that the foundation is the same, that they're built on the same type of foundation, even though one might exceed the other. I know the rooftop might be made different, some with shingles or whatever, and one with a tin rooftop, but the rooftop still covers, if that makes sense. So they still have built their house, but the top of it has a different top, but it's still built on the same foundation. Am I making sense? Dr. Dutchess says no. So at this time, I have a question for Dr. Dutchess moving forward. Dr. Dutchess, what is the difference? And we know in education-wise, your degree is higher. What is the difference in the code of ethics with you all? And could you explain that to us?
Since that is not in evidence, I'm going to decline to put it in evidence. You brought in that young lady as a so-called expert witness. That should have been asked of her. She and I are not the same. Our degrees are not the same. Our expertise is not the same. Our experience is not the same. We are not the same. As a matter of fact, she will work up under my supervision.
Okay. With that being said, put some respect on the doctor's name. It's kind of like a CNA, LVN, RN, nurse practitioner, doctor. Dr. Dutchess wants some respect put on her degree. And I think at this time, me sitting in this seat, not knowing the big difference in the two, I have to put some respect on that doctor's name. So,
May I ask a question to Dr. Dutchess?
no, not yet, because we ain't made it there. So, does anybody disagree with me up here? But I'm going to put some respect because I see people saying there is a fucking big difference. Excuse me. The rules are the same, but it's a difference. People are saying the rules are the same. Are there any other licensed psychologists in this room
I
that we
disagree.
can
Can I
question?
speak to that, please?
Okay. Now, will you know under the education standpoint or like standbys? Because my aunt's niece is a therapist. She can have her own office. You know, I know she can't write prescriptions. Dr. Dutchess, you can't write prescriptions either. You have to be a psychiatrist, right, to write the prescriptions, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Psychologists work in consult with psychiatrists. Psychiatrists are MDs. Clinical psychologists are PhDs or PsyDs. We're not licensed practical therapists.
Okay, Dr. J is in the queue. I'm going to bring up Dr. J. I think she is a psychologist. Let's bring her up. Proud. Thank you for that argument. And here we are again. My God, we have another. Let's get Dr. J sworn in. Dr. J, before I swear you in, I just need to know, are you a therapist? Are you a psychologist? What is your stance in the medical field?
I'm actually a licensed professional counselor, but I'd like to offer a different insight on the
I'm
role.
sorry. I know you probably want to offer a different insight, but I don't want too many people coming up with it.
Okay.
We do that because that's
So
gonna
can
prolong.
I say this?
The other lady was a counselor too.
Here, may I say something? And then you can
Calling
drop
herself a
drop
therapist.
me.
Well,
Can I
I
say
don't
one?
want to do.
Duchess.
I object.
I would. I don't want to do that. I would like to do that after because I think this is a good topic. Oh, I hope I just initiated you in the family, ma'am. I'm not going to allow that because I'm sure that there are several specialists in this room. I know Miss V, you want to hear her, but that's not going to happen right now because I think that what we need to do, we heard the therapist, we heard from Dr. Dutchess. If I allow every therapist to come up and give input, then we could be here for a little while. I think that that's a topic to know the difference in the two.
And Your Honor,
Moving
are they
forward.
referred to as counselors or therapists? Counselors, I believe.
Therapist. Her name was that therapist. I'm putting therapist on it, like I'm putting that. Let's get into the questions, y'all. We're 2 hours into this case.
Ms.
Let's
Nietzsche, may I
move
please say
forward.
something?
Oh, baby, can we get to the questions? Yes, yes, yes.
So I would like to say that Dr. Dutchess's team is getting a lot of airtime. Not only are my clips not being played out, but the clips that prove defamation and abuse of power are not being paid attention to. And I think that's really important for this court case.
We ain't made it that far, baby.
That's a lie.
We ain't made it that far. We haven't made it that far. I've played 2 of your clips. And I even went back and played the second one again. So we have not made it to the point of that. So that's why they haven't been played yet.
Okay, I'm just referring to the last clip was not played fully. So therefore, I could not complete my argument.
I did play it all the way forward. That second one, I played it to the end. I played the whole thing. Even to where I wrote it down. Where she came back through the point that you wanted to be made.
No, that wasn't so that means that the wrong clip was selected.
Your Honor, I object to the disorganization.
It's not disorganization. I'm very organized with my clips that I sent over to Ms. Nitra, and I was clear about the clip.
Well, you did tell me to play a clip, and then you said, "Oop, not that one."
No, that was at the. Yes, that is correct, but that is not what Top Shelf is referring to. I'm referring to Exhibit B.
You know what I'm referring to.
Exhibit B. Lawyers, I've never seen a lawyer have such an attitude.
Stay focused. Exhibit B, which one? I thought it was Exhibit B.
Exhibit B is broken down into 3 videos, and I said if we don't have time to play the last 2 of Exhibit B, you can play the 3rd video, which in that video, it shows that the behaviors that I've been discussing regarding Dr. Dutchess.
I thought I did play that.
Judge, if I can come up as Bailiff Otis real quick, just to get some order. I just want to give some clarity, guys, on how the juke joint works. So you do your opening arguments. Those are all those statements and arguments that the lawyers want to make. And then we have to do some cross-examination, right? You bring your witnesses up. You both will question your witnesses, not just ask them to speak. And then you will cross-examine Tanzee and Dr. Dutchess. You will then be able to produce your evidence if need be, and then you'll have your closing arguments. Because it seems like that you kind of overwhelming the judge right now with a lot of wanting to come in and give arguments, and the arguments are not right now. That's closing.
That's not my intent. This is my first time
No, I
being a
know,
lawyer on this
Yeah,
platform. So
no,
I'm learning. So thank
no,
you.
I totally understand. Yeah, no, I'm getting it. I'm just saying, I just know that she's a little overwhelmed, and I know Bailiff is downstairs trying to make sure everybody taps. Please continue to tap the screen, guys. Just now coming in, get your heart me's.
Okay, thank you. If
Well,
there's
we
going to be
just
an opportunity to play the clips later on, then I'm absolutely fine and wait about
yes, we
waiting.
will. We will get to the clips. We just haven't got to the witnesses yet. And we've been here for 2 hours on this case, and 1 hour, 2 hours and 15 minutes. We have not heard from one witness, other than 2 outbursts. Dr. Dutchess, you did give an outburst, which I didn't hear it. They said you did, so I'm going to have to refrain from asking her to pay a due because I did not hear her. I heard her say that I should have asked that question for somebody, and we're moving on. She did, and some people say she did. I did not hear an outburst from Dr. Dutchess. My God, y'all heard it? Coming cousin jurist did Dr. Dutch. In fact, let's ask her. She's a truthful woman. Dr. Dutchess, did you outburst in the juke joint? She paid her galaxy. At this time, Tip, if you will please note in the courtroom, we want it fair in here today before we get to the fairness, that Dr. Dutchess has paid her dues as well as Tanzee. Both have paid dues paid in full. I ask because I'm a fair judge, believe it or not. The state is now calling Tanzee, because that's where Top said she wanted to start, to the witness stand. There's a juror missing. If she's not able to come back within the next 3 minutes, we will be filling this seat for witnesses and or statements. No more jurors will be added to this case if I can keep from it, if that's okay with y'all. We don't want people coming in late on it. Top, it's on you.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Tanzee, isn't it true that this dispute arose after a personal disagreement?
No.
So there had been no prior ill intent or ill will between the two of you prior to these allegations?
No.
I object. Can you please define personal matter and ill will?
Personal issues. Words being...
Overruled.
Tanzee, would you agree that your allegations rely more on how you felt than on what was actually done?
I object. That is victim blaming.
There's no blame being made here, Your Honor. A question's being asked.
You are leading your question with an answer, because if you say, would you agree, that's actually getting her to agree to something. So I would ask you, attorney, if you could just refrain from to ask her a question, but not ask it in an answer form. So you just be careful how you're asking her, because it's like you're trying to lead her to say yes.
My apologies, Your Honor. That's how we've been trained in my
rephrase your question.
In my online TikTok attorney course. So I apologize for that. With that said, I rest at the moment. Would you please allow my co-partner to come up and ask any questions that she may have? I will gladly go down the stage.
I will. Let's ask her downstairs first. Proud, do you have any questions for Miss Tanzee? Yes or no? If you'll put that in the comment section. Yes, she does. Okay, with that being said, Jordan's mom, you're up here. I'm going to intervene right now while we bring her up. Are you adding to this case? What are we doing?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. If it please the court, on behalf of the comment cousins, we would like to make a motion to dismiss this case based on its frivolous nature. You cannot have an expectation of privacy once you have divulged your personal diagnosis. And on behalf of the comment cousins, we feel that this is an abuse and harassment against Dr. Dutchess because it appears to be personal in nature. A personal matter cannot be brought before the court. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, I love you, friend, but we too invested to dismiss it right now. We got to keep going.
Can I respond to that, please?
Let me get proud of. Can I drop you? I'm finna initiate you because you my friend. Whoa, girl. Not used to doing her like that. We gotta keep going. I'm invested in this.
I
I'm
would like
invested. But she good as hell. She need to be an attorney, don't she?
I would
Proud
like
black.
I would like to say that the
Hold on. We gotta get proud to ask Tanzee some questions and then we'll hear from you.
Okay, so my questioning has nothing to do with the mental health accusation, because I sort of want to let's move on from that. I think we done beat that horse. Is that fine with the judge?
No, I don't want to move. Did you have questions? She said you had questions.
I do have questions, but my questions, I moved on from that.
Okay, so that means then we need to hear from the human.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I would like to
We'll hear from the jurors. Okay, so the human, it is on you for you to question your client, and then we will hear from the jurors to question the client. Let's go.
Thank you. Hi, Tanzee.
Y'all, please respect everybody in the comment section. They're asking for Dr. Dutchess to be respected. Do not disrespect anyone in my room. No one. This should be entertaining. If it's not, you're in the wrong room. I know I'm very entertained. We don't have to be offensive when we're being entertained. We're being entertained. Let's just have fun, have something to talk about later, or leave it alone later, but we're having fun. So let's just keep it respectful. 2026, let's learn how to be respectful and just have entertaining, and we don't have to be ugly in the comment section. It's very entertaining right now, and I'm very invested, if you can't tell. The human, it's on you.
Absolutely. And I just want to reiterate that this is for entertainment purposes only. We love and respect Dr. Dutchess and do not want any harm to come to her career or reputation.
Thank you.
So Tanzee, thank you so much for hiring me as your representative for this case. The first question I have for you is, have you ever been misdiagnosed as bipolar by Dr. Dutchess on Diamond Live?
Yes.
Right.
Objection.
She was never diagnosed.
She gave an opinion.
She asked her, did you? So she asked a question. That's going to be a yes or a no, right? She said, did you get diagnosed? So I think that it's okay to overrule at this time and we get a yes or a no if she felt like she was diagnosed. Is that okay? So Tanzee has a right to answer that question. Overruled. Tanzee?
Yes, she did misdiagnose me on Diamonds Live.
And it has been stated in this court on numerous occasions that up until even 2 years ago, that you have stated that you have NPD. Was it surprising to you when Dr. Dutchess not only said that you were having a bipolar rant, but that you were in fact bipolar and everyone knew about it?
Yes, I was very shocked because I've never mentioned bipolar, being bipolar or having bipolar. I've only said that I was diagnosed with narcissism, which I shared that with Dr. Dutchess and everybody, but I never ever, because I was never ever diagnosed with by being bipolar at all.
Thank you. Were you ever a patient of Dr. Dutchess? Did you sign a consent form?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you ever ask Dr. Dutchess if she can be your psychologist, clinical psychologist?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you ask Dr. Dutchess if she can be your clinical psychologist, because she has, in fact, made it clear that she is a professional in the field and she has built a reputation as a professional in the field?
Yeah, she shared that with me on Diamonds Live, and I DM'd her and I gave her my personal phone number. And then I went on Diamonds Live the next day and I asked her if she could be, because I deeply respected her and I felt as though she could help me with my narcissistic diagnosis.
Is it clear? Is it a fact to say that at one point you trusted Dr. Dutchess?
Yes, I trusted her, and I told her that I trust her, and I told her that um, I would be honored for her to be my therapist, and I would be willing to pay her, and she declined.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, girl, I got
Now,
questions now. Okay, go ahead.
thank you. Now, Dr. Dutchess, we did not get a chance to hear the full clip, but Dr. Dutchess did a great job of reading from the DSM-5 of what NPD is. And in that clip, which I believe you heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, she talked about the sensitivity that individuals with NPD have to criticism. In Greatness is Live, which I also have a clip of, you highlight that criticism and then you blow up on that live on the individuals who you felt criticized you. Can you tell us why you blew up and if you felt that Dr. Dutchess in that moment understood why you blew up on
Um,
Greatness is Live?
Yeah, when she said that I was bipolar, I told her and she started laughing. I felt like she was making fun of me and gaslighting me because she knew that I am not bipolar. She knows that I'm narcissistic. And she started laughing and then she said, "Girl, you know I'm playing. You know I'm playing. He ha ha." And then I said, "But you shouldn't play with that because she's a respected psychologist and they will believe what she said." So I was quite embarrassed because I didn't feel like I could express that her diagnosis was incorrect, and I do not in fact have bipolar. I felt like her expertise and her level of her profession honored her the grace and power to garnish people's to influence people's opinion.
Thank
My
you.
God.
And so therefore, and we will get a chance to hear this clip when Dr. Dutchess reads from the DSM-5 clinical psychology manual, the definition of NPD, the fact that those with NPD have a severe sensitivity to criticism, and they are compelled to argue, and they are compelled to argue with in a way that they don't care about your feelings. And so that's my last question for you at this time, Tanzee.
I object.
I do want to clarify some things because I was writing it down, and then we're going to move to the jurors. Tanzee, question. I'm hearing misdiagnosed. I'm also hearing that you trusted her. I do have a question. Did you ever have a offline conversation with Dr. Dutchess?
No, I did not.
Did not. Okay, so we got that cleared up. You said that she declined your invitation after you said you trusted her and you would be honored for her to be your specialist because psychologists are specialists. Could
Yes,
you tell me how did that conversation come about for you to tell her? And then I have another question. Did that conversation come before the allegations that are being presented today to this juke joint? So I'm asking two things. When and did it take place before?
okay. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm gonna have to like I am dyslexic, so when you say before and after, I have no real meaning of before and
Okay.
after. So
So here we go. So Dr. Dutchess was talked to, and she said, you said, I trust you. I will be honored for you to be my therapist. She, or my specialist. She declined it.
right.
Was that decline before Diamond's platform, the clip we listened to, was that offer before that clip? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, no further questions. It's now the jurors. Go ahead.
Your Honor, if I may, prior to proceeding, the jurors,
I
the
object. The judge
plaintiff,
had no further questions.
Hold on, Top. We got to do it in order. We got to hear from the jurors, and then it's on you. Because you can come cross-examine if you have something for Tanzee. So save it. I see where we're going, but we do have to get into the jurors, and then we'll come back to you for cross-examination. Somebody said I missed my call, and I should have been a judge. Go ahead, juror. Poetic, let me hear from you. This is good to me.
Tanzee, my question is, part of your complaint is that you were forced to give your real diagnosis due to Dr. Dutchess, but have you not in fact stated multiple times that you are a narcissist?
A narcissist.
Yes, narcissist.
All right. So narcissism is different from being bipolar, right? Those are two different diagnoses, right? So I did share with everybody that I am I was diagnosed as having narcissism at a very young age, right? So those two are completely different mental health issues. For her to say that I am bipolar, that is misdiagnosing me and giving me a diagnosis that's not even true.
But if you already said your diagnosis in the past, it wasn't really her forcing you to put the diagnosis out there.
No. You can't tell me how I feel.
I'm just asking a question.
This is what I'm sharing with you, and with all due respect. When she said that I was bipolar, yes, I was forced to tell everybody that I am a narcissist, because I wanted everybody to know that what she's doing is saying, I feel like that was a form of gaslighting. She knows that I'm not bipolar. She should know that. And if she thinks that I am bipolar, that I believe that she should have hit me up in a DM. Seeing as she said she didn't want to be my therapist, then I really want to know how she came to the conclusion that I'm bipolar when I'm actually only a narcissist. Even right now, it makes me feel like I need to disclose my mental health with and I feel like I would willingly do it for entertainment purposes only. But it does make me feel like that, because I see your finger on, and this is because I'm hypervigilant, right? With your finger on your lip like that, I think you know that I'm telling the truth, but you're trying to think in your head.
You can't tell me what I'm trying to think.
Well, you can't tell me what I'm trying to think, girlfriend. You just try to tell me how I felt.
Yes or no question.
What are you yelling at me for? I'm just
on in the courtroom. We are having outbursts. Outburst calls. You do not want to leave here broke. Order in the courtroom. Do not harass the jurors. They're only here to do their job today. Stay on track, Tanzee. Yes or no? And if you got to go into a whole dialogue of it and it offends you, then you should have just answered yes or no. Let's keep it to yes or no, and we won't go into these dialogues.
Can I speak on Tanzee's behalf?
No, ma'am. We have to get to the jurors, and then we'll come back to the attorneys. My God, in here today. Poetic, were you done? Jasmine, let me hear from you. Woo, girl. I'm going to need a raise after today.
We're going to get you one. Can you hear me, Miss Nitra?
Well, is Poetic finished? Because are you calm?